Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today we're gonna do a new DIY. I wanted to publish this video way sooner, but I got caught up in life with work and different obligations. So here we are, a little bit later than I planned, but let's go. So I want to get something for my desk. I work from home, I'm at my computer most of the day, and I wanted to get something where I could put my monitor on and my laptop to have it at more eye level because it's better for the posture. I got inspiration from this thing that I saw on Amazon, and I was like, that's exactly what I want, but I also want something a little different because I wanted like a little nook for my mouse, because I have an ergonomic mouse, so it doesn't fit under most of the different options that I found. I need like a little house for my mouse. So I decided to build it myself, and I guess let's go.
First tip is to go get all the material. The hardware store had a lot of little cute plants. Look at all the succulents, and I really flashed on this cactus. So I just thought I should take it home with me. Look how cute he is. This is what the car looks like. Could have I taken the bus? Of course. Did I want to? Of course not. Why would I do that? This is the calculation I've done. I'm sorry, this is my work notebook, so obviously confidential information everywhere. Yeah, I've done that a little while ago, and I do not understand it at all. I think this bracket is like, yeah, like it was 10 in the evening, and if you know me, I'm usually in bed at 10 in the evening, and it was really hard, even though I'm usually pretty good at that, because as you can see here, it's written in French, but it's written thickness of the wood. Obviously the wood has a certain thickness to it, and you shouldn't forget about it. When you make a calculation, you should always remember that there is some thickness, and I think that what I took is about like half a centimeter thick, so I had to like calculate everything with a half a centimeter extra on borders, and like how do you put the wood together, and I don't know. It was tough. For some reason I couldn't hack it, and now I have no idea what happened. I think I'm gonna have to do it again. So let's go. So I started by sketching the final product that I wanted to have. So as I said, I want to have a little house for my mouse. So that's why the right side is a little bit, doesn't have the two drawers, because then that's where I can put my mouse. So I checked all the dimension with how high my mouse was and how high I want my monitor to be. So that's what I'm doing here, is just checking all the dimensions. To be honest, the calculation was not that easy. I don't know why, because I'm usually pretty good at that, but as I said previously, you need to think about the thickness of the wood, and that completely threw me off, and it took me a really long time to figure it out. Eventually I got it, I figured it out, and I did it. Time to get on the wood and to mark everything before cutting.
Sounds right.
My balcony doesn't have a lot of space, so that's why I had to move around the table all the time. But I mean, I'm just really lucky that I have one. But yeah, it wasn't really practical to cut this big piece of wood because, as you can see, the balcony is a little tight. The saw that I have has this roller that you can put on it to keep the exact same distance, so it's really practical. So I could just put it on and sew everything with exactly the same measurements.
Sounds good.
I changed saw here. I don't really remember why. I think the circular saw was kind of damaging the wood a little bit, so I switched to the jigsaw. That was a little bit better. Sanding a little bit, of course, to make it smooth. And now we're moving on to assembling everything. I pre-drilled most of the holes because otherwise the wood can crack if you don't pre-do the holes. It's not always necessary, but if you don't, on this really thin kind of wood, it can just crack it open. And you will see that it unfortunately happened to me a little bit later on in the video. I don't have the best tools when it comes to drill the holes and to screw, because this is a pretty cheap screwdriver that I bought. It's an electric one, so that's what I got it in the first place, because I was tired of just having a hand screwdriver. But I think eventually I invest in something that is a little bit better. It's not that powerful at all, and you can see it kind of jiggles.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
This is where I broke the wood, but it's okay, just moving on. As you can see, I really decided to do pre-holes everywhere because I didn't on the thing that I broke, so it was a little bit tedious, but it was really worth it. Now we're building the drawer, so I'm really being careful that everything fits together, that it's really on exactly the same alignment. Of course, always mark where the holes are gonna be.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
And here I was marking where the front of the drawer should be exactly. So now you see me folding carton, you'll understand afterwards why, but basically the drawers, the front of the drawer were kind of sagging, so I had to like make the drawers a tiny bit higher, and that's kind of the thing I came up with.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
So you see what the idea is that I put that underneath to higher the drawer a little bit.
Sounds right.
So this is with the drawers. I think it's pretty neat. Oops. So I had to put things like, cause the drawer was like kind of like the front was kind of like falling on both sides. So I kind of put things underneath. I mean, it's really System D, but it's just some piece of carton, but on both sides. It just helped the slides because the screws that are inside. I chose the right side, but I guess it's a tiny, like a milliliter too long. So it was kind of like touching the wood underneath, so it was hard to pull. So yeah. So yeah, let's paint this baby. Moving on to the fun part, the painting. So this is a pink chalky paint I found on Amazon. It was really nice. As you can see when I open it, it's really creamy. I added water because otherwise it was a bit too thick and I wouldn't have had enough. So I added quite a bit of water. Here it looks like I didn't add a lot, but as I went, I added more and more water.
Sounds right. Sounds right.
And of course, never forget to add a protection coat. I think I made 2 or 3 coats of that, and it was really looking great after that. Final touch to put the hardware on the drawers.
So that's it for the video. I hope you liked it. Please feel free to comment if you have anything to add or if you want to know anything. Like always, if you liked it, I would really appreciate if you give me a thumbs up, if you subscribe to the channel. And yeah, so as we say, without further ado, big reveal. Thank you, bye.
Sounds right.